We're now logged in as Hannah again because we need the admin access in order to do the next step in the innovation process, which is organize ideas into clusters. But first we need to close our idea campaign. And either that happens automatically because the end date has passed, or we can go in and do it manually by going to ideations, go into the dashboard for increase in store conversion rate ideation, go to the campaign we want to close, press the edit button, and put in a date that's already been. Then it will close automatically. So now if we look at the home page, we will no longer be able to submit ideas to this campaign. So if we go back to our dashboard, we're now going to focus on the second part, which is organize and test ideas. And the first thing we want to do is cluster ideas. So we press the cluster button, and in this view, we see all the ideas that have come in this ideation, the title and description. We have this button with learn more. If we press it, we get an explanation to what clustering is and how it could be helpful. So often you have a larger volume of ideas when you're going into the clustering phase. But the purpose of showing how it works will stick to these 6. So the process of clustering could be rather complex actually and confusing because there is a lot of different combination and opportunities, and that's why this part is so important. We'll be able to find the unique combinations, the 1 + 1 = 3 type of opportunities that we would never have found if we just taken the first idea and gone with it. So here, for example, we see that we have 2 that is around interviewing different groups. So potentially we could put those in a cluster. And since we have none yet, we'll create one and we can call it research. And when we add it, we get the question if we want to send feedback to the people who've submitted these 2 ideas. And this is a really important step, and that's why we partly automated it in Ideation 360. So you can send a standard notification, which simply says your idea is now in a cluster. You can choose to send no notification at this time, or we can send a customized message saying thank you for your idea. It is now in the cluster research. We will get back with next steps. And when I press save now, this will go as a notification to these 2 idea holders. And we will also have created our first clusters. So if we flip to this tab, we can now see that we have a cluster called research with 2 ideas in it. Say that we also want to create a cluster with this movable desk idea because it's quite interesting. So we'll simply call it movable desks and add it, and we can let's send a standard notification this time. And that brings us a second cluster, which we can look at by doing this. So if we want to edit clusters, we can do that here by removing ideas, for example. You can create as many clusters as you want, and one idea can be in many clusters, which is quite beneficial compared if you do it on post-its when it's not possible. Here you can see what cluster is listed in. You can also search on keywords. If we go back to the ideation, we also get an overview of our created clusters, and the default status is set to in ideation, that we're looking and experimenting with these clusters. So the next step is going to be about forming hypotheses to define our assumptions.